Beautiful, ready to go. All right, when you're ready, Candace.
All right, welcome everyone. It's so exciting to be here with you all tonight. We are here to introduce to you LifeVantage. So as you can see on the screen, we have a global company that we're a part of. So we just recently launched in the Philippines, but we actually are based out of the United States of America. So welcome to wherever you are joining us from tonight. Excited to be here. So I am, do you want me to introduce myself? All right, so I am Candace Foy. As you can tell, my accent is Canadian, but I've actually been here in Australia for the last 8 years. I'm a Premier Pro 5, and I'm from Port Macquarie, and I am absolutely just enamored with the concept of activation. So I was a physiotherapist in Canada for over 20 years and found activation just over a year ago, about 15 months ago, and it's radically changed my life and hundreds of people that I know personally. So it's a real honor to get to share what I'm really passionate about with you guys tonight. So here we go. So just a quick disclosure so that you guys know anything that we're sharing tonight is obviously dependent on effort. Nothing is guaranteed. We're not making any promises. So here we go. The company. So LifeVantage is a pioneer in nutrigenomics, which is a great big word for what's called the science that is dedicated to cracking the human aging code. So just drop in the chat if you've ever heard of nutrigenomics before. I know personally I hadn't, even though I was technically what they now call a biohacker for years, which is basically just choosing, to drink water over, say, Coca-Cola or something, to choose to, take the stairs instead of the elevator. Those kinds of things where we're actually trying to look at ways that we can hack our bodies to do what they were created to do. But nutrigenomics takes it to a whole other level where we're actually looking at science and how can we actually tap into the blueprints that are inside ourselves and teach them what they need, or not teach them, sorry, remind them of what they were created to do in the first place so that they're able to then, upregulate and downregulate, make more good, like make less bad, basically how we were when we were younger, which is pretty cool. The company itself is publicly traded on the NASDAQ, which was for me as a physio, as a health professional, was really important because I wanted to know there's accountability and transparency from a company perspective. Another bonus is that it is a debt-free company. And honestly, it has the best compensation plan of any company I've ever seen. And it is an extremely generous company. So let's jump into one of my favorite topics is science. And we're going to talk about the products. Here we go. So Protandim NRF2 Synergizer is our flagship product. This product came on in 2003 when a scientist discovered that we could actually take 5 herbs in the perfect proportion and activate the NRF2 pathway in our bodies. Well, what does that actually mean? It basically means it's developed to help fight the declines of aging by doing what we are meant to be doing. So how does it do that? Reduces oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days. That's profound, right? I don't know of anything else that we can actually make that statement. And yet research after research after research has shown that that is something that cannot be refuted. So drop in the chat, actually, if you have never heard about oxidative stress before LifeVantage, right? Oxidative stress, for those of you who are brand new tonight, welcome. Oxidative stress is just cellular stress. If you've ever pictured something that's been left out that's metal, like a wheelbarrow or a car that's been left out in the rain or in the sunshine for years, it oxidizes. But what happens in our bodies is that actually our cells are oxidizing. There's little free radicals that are bouncing around like in a pinball machine, bouncing around, and they're damaging our cells. So over time, we're actually damaging the cells, and damaged cells duplicate damaged cells, right? So we want to find a way to reduce that. And this scientist back in 2003 discovered just that with these 5 herbs. So what does it actually do? It detoxifies these genes. It flips on survival genes. It keeps the master blueprint of the cell's function intact, which is what I was referring to before. It significantly reduced stress, which, oh, can you go back? Thank you. Because one of my favorite things is the fact that it can neutralize 1 million free radicals per second. So lots of times people talk about it being, you know, yes, I have my antioxidants, I drink my red wine, I, you know, have my vitamin C. But one of the most powerful things when I discovered activation is that you have a 1-to-1 ratio when you have food, and you have 1 to 1 million ratio when you are activating using Protandim. Flipping on the switch to that NRF2 pathway. Picture Christmas tree lights, right? We've all just gone through Christmas. Some of us might still have our Christmas trees up. When you plug in the lights and then you flip the little switch, what happens? Every single light on that tree comes on, right? That's what we're doing when we pop this little tiny yellow pill and we put it in our body, and it flips on these switches that actually do the work. They produce antioxidants at a ridiculous rate in order to help rebalance what's going on in our body with this oxidative stress. And we know that oxidative stress is the #1 cause of disease in the body. So go ahead after this, go ahead and just jump on and just Google oxidative stress to see what it is that is actually causing all of these diseases that you hear about all around the world. There's like well over 240, I think now, that are low in glutathione. Our product increases glutathione production by 300% in 120 days. Again, nothing else in the research that can show that can do that, especially naturally. This is plant-based. So we want to be able to basically support the body's natural ability to repair and to rejuvenate its own cells. We know that damaged cells and dirty cells are going to be replicating, and more of those are going to create dis-ease in the body. We don't want that. We want it to be so that our bodies have clean cells that are healthy, that are talking to one another, that allow us to then live the best life that we can, right? So, next slide. Awesome. So over 25 peer-reviewed journal publications that have been independently researched, right? So if you actually go onto PubMed.com or PubMed.gov, sorry, you will actually find that I believe there's 27, 28 articles now. What that means is peer-reviewed means that the research, like Harvard University or Colorado State University, has paid with their own money. They've taken Protandim, they've done the research. Then there's been other parties, other researchers who've taken it and reviewed it and gotten the same results. Then there's, you know, thousands of these that are being submitted to PubMed all the time, and very few actually get published. So for us to have a natural supplement that has been published, not just once, not just twice, but I believe it's 28 times that it's been published on there, is just unheard of. So you can see the names on here are very well-known names. The American Heart Association is a big advocate of Protandim, of this incredible product, right? We've got the American Aging Association that's looked at that. Texas Tech University, University of Montreal, right? These are huge universities. For them to put their name behind it and say that Protandim does what we are here tonight saying that it's doing, don't trust us, believe what they have to say, because they have a lot more clout behind them than just us, right? So next slide. This was one of the most profound statements that I actually came across when I first joined LifeVantage. And for me, as a health professional, it was a significant statement. It says, "It is our opinion that raising NRF2 is likely to be the most important health promoting approach into the foreseeable future." Now, this is Washington State University. Now, you look at, they're making this statement. I'm sure many of you guys can think about other things that have happened that have been helpful in medicine. For them to actually make this statement, very, very, very exciting, right? So, next slide.
Before we move on to the next slide, Candace, we had a question in the chat.
Yeah.
How do the products help our body system? And with things like COVID and stuff like that? That was the question. So did you want to answer something about that?
Absolutely, I would love to. So, all right, so a great big word that I briefly touched on is glutathione. So it's a great big word, but basically it is the molecule of life. So what we want to be able to do is figure out, how does glutathione impact our overall health? Well, if you, again, Google and you look, there is multiple diseases that all, the one thing in common is they have low glutathione. And what our product does is it increases that glutathione production, that molecule of life that our bodies cannot survive without it. Next to water, it is the most important molecule in the body. So when you actually take that and you look at what it's doing, picture Velcro, right? Just to make it really simple, it's like big giant pieces of Velcro that are going around and they're taking up all the toxins, the heavy metals, the stuff that should not be in our cells, that should not be in our body, and it's removing it, it's flushing it out. If your body is not producing enough of this glutathione, your body doesn't clean itself out. It doesn't detox. It doesn't organize itself in the way it should, so that it cannot stay optimally healthy and strong. So we want to be able to rebuild that glutathione production so that our bodies can face anything that it's coming in contact with, whether it's, you know, something that's just around, something that we come in contact with, something that, again, is due to the aging process that's happening in our bodies. But it's really important that we also remember that we are living in a very toxic world. So we are constantly being bombarded by things that are trying to take us down, so to speak. So we've got, you know, whether it's the Wi-Fi, whether it's the food that we're eating that's been processed, or the soils that have been, you know, saturated with all sorts of herbicides and pesticides, whether it's the water we're drinking that's been treated, you know, it doesn't seem to matter. That the bus that I was driving behind the other day, and there's, you know, black smoke billowing out, all of that stuff is needing to be processed in our bodies. How do we do that? Well, it's aging us faster than maybe 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. So this is our key that we can literally put in the lock and know that it's going to be working for us to help our immune systems function at the optimal level that we can, really. So hopefully that answers your question. All right, so we have 3 products on this screen right now. So we have NRF2 that I've just talked about. We have NRF1 and we have NAD. This is what we call the tri-synergizer. So NAD is not available yet in all markets. So depending on where you're watching this from, it may not be available in your current market, but we have with LifeVantage something called the Global Purchase Program. So you can actually jump on and order products from anywhere in the world through LifeVantage and have it sent to you. So make sure you get in contact with the distributor who invited you to watch this tonight to understand more about that, if you are interested specifically in getting all 3 of these. But I'm just going to touch really briefly on the NRF1. So NRF1 is the second anti-aging pathway that LifeVantage discovered years ago. And what they did is they actually took 5 herbs again. And so I didn't actually mention the first 5 herbs, sorry. The 5 herbs in Protandim are turmeric, ashwagandha, milk thistle, bacopa, I did it out of order, and green tea extract. So those 5 herbs, it's the synergy between the 5 that is so powerful in flipping the switch. It's not a matter of taking a whole bunch of any one of those. It's about the synergy that happens between the perfect proportions of each that flip on that pathway. Well, with NRF1, it's doing the same thing. But NRF1 pathway looks at the mitochondria. So the mitochondria are our little batteries inside our cells. And we know in our heart, there is millions of these little batteries inside the cells. What that does is that powers it. It gives us the energy at the cellular level to do what we need to do just for our bodies to function, right? So if we are aging, or if we're being compromised in any way and that system is getting clogged up, we need to be regenerate these little mitochondria, and tapping into that NRF1 pathway does that. And when you put the 2 together, they synergistically work more powerfully than either of them do apart. But here's the cool thing. NAD takes it off the charts. When you add NAD into the mix, you actually are taking it up to about 1,800% more effectiveness in what it's capable of doing, because NAD is helping recycle all of what's happening with the NRF1 and NRF2. So it's just next level incredible. So definitely more to come. This is just a quick little overview. So I just want to jump into the other stacks that we have so that you guys have just a big picture of what we're looking at. So we have specifically a heart health activation stack. So we have omegas. So these are not like any other fish oil you've ever seen on the planet. These are pure. Every bottle can be tracked back to the boat where the fish was caught, which is unbelievable. The integrity of this company is just next level. Everything is tested every step along the way. It's just next level of excellence. So you're looking at the perfect balance between the omega-3s and all the ingredients that they put in there. And they're tiny little pills, so they're easy enough for kids to take. You can squeeze them, you can chew them. There's no fishy aftertaste, which is amazing because they are so pure. We have the Wellbeing Essential Stack. I'm just going to talk quickly about ProBio, which is a probiotic that, again, is next level incredible. 52 minutes for it to get from your mouth into where it needs to go to change the gut flora. There's, again, nothing else that I've seen on the market, even close to that. Most probiotics get destroyed in the stomach acids. This actually has a slow release capsule technology that gets all the way down where it needs to go to do the work to help you have that healthy gut, which is your healthy immune system. 80% of the immune system is made in the gut. And so we really want that healthy gut, healthy brain, healthy body, head to toe, which is well-being. We've got eye health, and that's really quick. An eye activator, unbelievable, brand new product that LifeVantage has just come up with that literally is helping us to activate our eye, which is constantly being oxidized from, the sun and screen time. Definitely something else to look into. One of the things I love about LifeVantage is it's not just about it's not just about activating our antioxidant production in our body. They also really care about the ability to reduce what's happening inside our bodies that we're putting in and on. So when you're looking at skincare, when you're looking at hair care, what you're doing is you're actually adding in toxins into your body if they are not clean products. So LifeVantage has come up with a whole skincare range, which is NR2 activated, which is anti-aging, again, to the next level, especially for those who live in the sunny south here in Australia and New Zealand, because we are constantly being exposed to a greater percentage of sunshine. So we want to make sure that we're actually treating our skin as healthy and carefully as we can, right? So we want to be able to make sure that we're not putting chemicals on our body that have to be then managed. Next slide. They've done the same with the hair care. So this is NR2 activated hair care. Again, it's super clean, but it also is going to activate. So we have the True Science hair care system, which includes the scalp activation. There is some unbelievable testimonials. Make sure that whoever's invited you into here tags you and puts you into some of the testimonials in my LifeVantage story, because they will just blow you away. It's just incredible to see where the science actually meets what happens when testimonials come to be. So here we go.
Great to be here. I know we're in studio, but we almost have a live studio audience over here. So thanks everyone for coming out to see the show yourselves. Hey, good morning, good afternoon, or evening, wherever in the US or world you might be watching from. My name is Brian Dixon, and I'm the Senior Vice President of Research and Development here at LifeVantage. Today, I'd like to talk to you about the most innovative and differentiated product on the market, Protandim NRF2 Synergizer. To achieve that, I'm going to tell you a story. The story of how LifeVantage and Protandim NRF2 Synergizer came to be. This story is literally over 50 years in the making, dating back to 1968. Then, Duke University graduate student Joe McCord, under the mentorship of Professor Erwin Friedovich, discovered the enzyme superoxide dismutase, or SOD as it's more commonly known. The discovery of SOD, coupled to another enzyme, catalase, explained how the cell, and especially the mitochondria, could handle the massive amounts of free radicals and oxidants produced as byproducts of our normal everyday metabolism. To put into perspective just how essential these enzymes are for life, both SOD and catalase are found in nearly all living cells that are exposed to oxygen, which would obviously include ourselves. Catalase is one of the fastest and most efficient enzymes in our bodies. Catalase, I should say one catalase enzyme, listen to this, can detoxify millions of oxidants per second. And SOD isn't far behind in its speed and efficiency. SOD is also capable of detoxifying millions of free radicals. Dietary antioxidants like vitamin C or vitamin E don't even come close. These two enzymes, SOD and catalase, work in tandem to ultimately detoxify free radicals and oxidants back to simple oxygen and water. SOD starts by taking some pretty nasty free radicals, mostly generated by the mitochondria, and converts them to a less toxic oxidant. Then catalase jumps in and converts the oxidants generated by SOD to, like I mentioned, simple oxygen and water, and then the reaction is complete. But why is this so important? Because we need to keep our overall free radical and oxidant load in check. If left unchecked, it becomes what we call oxidative stress. What is very clearly shown in the scientific literature is that oxidative stress can affect our health. From small things you might not even think about to much larger things that can affect our overall health. The bottom line is oxidative stress matters, plays a role in our health, and we need to do all we can to minimize it. This is exactly why SOD and catalase are so important to our overall health, to efficiently and effectively keep these antioxidants and our overall oxidative stress load in check, and why their discoveries were so important for human health. So going from 1968 and that discovery of SOD, let's fast forward about 20 years to 1988. Joe McCord and some colleagues, friends, and investors came together to develop and bring to market a product that can activate or turn on both SOD and catalase. This original company was called Androplex Corporation, and it was the birth of LifeVantage as we know it today. And what about Protandim? Do you know how Protandim got its name? Because the founders of LifeVantage were looking for a combination of nutrients that could activate both SOD and catalase, they came up with the name Protandim. A product that could promote, or the activation of this important tandem of essential antioxidant enzymes, thus the name Protandim. After 5 more years of extensive research and development, Protandim was officially launched in 2003. But have you ever thought about just how scientifically innovative the development of Protandim was? To help give some perspective to that question, let's talk about what was going on scientifically at the time, and specifically the Human Genome Project. This moonshot scientific endeavor to sequence the billions of molecules in our DNA. Does anyone know when the Human Genome Project started? It was 1990, 2 years after LifeVantage was originally founded. And when was the Human Genome Project completed? Well, 2003. Yes, it took 13 years to complete and happened the same year Protandim was launched. It was the completion of the Human Genome Project that ignited the field of nutrigenomics, this notion that nutrients could influence how our genes are turned on and turned off. However, the term nutrigenomics wasn't coined until 2004 and solidified in the scientific literature by a few breakthrough research studies in 2005, 2 years after Protandim was launched. So let me let that sink in for just a second. Protandim was launched only knowing it could increase SOD and catalase levels, but not knowing exactly how it was doing it. We now, of course, know the nutrients of Protandim NRF2 Synergizer are working nutrigenomically through a protein called NRF2. We also now know that NRF2 not only activates SOD and catalase, but also hundreds of other antioxidant and detoxification enzymes, providing even more health benefits than originally thought. Protandim was literally ahead of its time before it even launched. So let's go back to 2003. There's another interesting fact about the launch of Protandim. How many of you knew that when it was originally launched online, it was launched through an e-commerce model? That's right, network marketing wasn't how LifeVantage and Protandim got their start. Then, in 2005, Protandim gets nationwide distribution in stores like GNC, CVS, and Save-On. Again, that's also right. Protandim was first sold online and in retail stores. Pouring some gasoline on the fire, in that same year, 2005, ABC Primetime runs a feature on Protandim. This feature showed that in just 30 days, the reporter's oxidative stress decreased to that of a teenager. This was also the spark that led to many independent research institutions such as MIT, Northwestern, the Max Planck Institute, Case Western Reserve University, Ohio State University, Washington State University, Louisiana State University, Texas Tech, and the National Institutes of Aging, just to name a few.
All right, so we're going to just stop that little video there. For those of you who want to continue watching this amazing guy, his name is Dr. Brian Dixon. So he's the Senior VP of Research and Development with LifeVantage. He is a walking encyclopedia. He's one of the smartest men I've ever met. And he takes the science and makes it so simple. So we have lots of different webinars. So if you're interested in learning more from him, we would love to share that with you as well. Briefly, just to touch on the ABC Primetime video, that was aired in 2005. If you are not yet in my LifeVantage story and have not yet had the opportunity to watch that, please make sure you get back to the person who invited you to watch this, because that 11 minutes very possibly could change your life. I know it changed mine and many thousands of people all around the planet, as that was the catalyst that those researchers that he just mentioned and I mentioned earlier actually got the ball rolling. So just unbelievable what we have our hands on here, guys. It is the most incredible gift to give, the gift of health that ongoing continues to work in our bodies. It's not just a little bit at the beginning, it continues to work for months and years and decades. The longer you're on it, the healthier you feel, really, because we know what it's doing physiologically. So with that, I just want to introduce our next amazing speaker, Sandra Santoro, who is a Premier Pro 4 here at Sydney, Australia. She has an incredible business mind. The opportunity that we've been given here from a ability to share this as a global business, whether it's from our phone or online, is just next level incredible in terms of the opportunity that we have here to spread the word and get the knowledge of activation out to the entire world, for all families, all generations to have their hands on this. So I'm going to pass it over to Sandra to just share with us a little bit more about the business opportunity that comes along with what we've been sharing. So we have the products and how we distribute those products. She's going to share that with you next. So welcome, Sandra.
Thank you so much, Candace. Well done, and thank you for sharing your amazing knowledge on our products. I love listening to how you explain that, and I'm sure everyone else did as well. So let me just go into a little bit about why this is an amazing opportunity and briefly go into the compensation plan. Obviously, I'm just going to touch on this very briefly, but if you would like more information, please go back to the person that invited you here tonight. So in LifeVantage, we earn money 8 different ways, okay? 8 different ways. Now, not all companies have this, all right? We earn from retail sales, okay? So like you would go into a shop and buy, okay, except it's online. We also earn by a Smart Start bonus, which is when you have a first customer enroll and buy a product, whether it's the Duo or the Activated Essentials or whichever it is, you as the distributor receives what we call a Smart Start bonus on that first order. Then we go into launch bonuses, which is about your team members. So when you start bringing business builders into the business, right? And they start doing what you did. So it's all about duplication, okay? There's no reinventing the wheel. Everyone follows the same system, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later. Then it goes into uni-level commissions, generational matching bonuses, global elite bonus pools, one-time rank advancements, and multiple business centers. Now, I'm not going to go into any of those because your brain will just explode right now. But all you need to know is that you can make money 8 different ways from this company or from sharing these amazing products. So what is uni-level commissions? It means that we can get paid on the depth of our business, but also on the width of our business. And as you can see there on the screen, it shows you all the different levels in which you may be paid in your business. So first level, 9 levels deep, and we still, depending on when you move along in the ranks up here, so we started at a distributor level and we can go all the way up to, and they've had to make more because this is how amazing our products are, to the presidential level, right? So this is where you can potentially move up to. And this probably won't make a lot of sense to someone that is just learning about our products and looking at our business, but the potential here to understand is that you can keep earning percentages the more people that are enrolled into your business. So if you enroll new business builders, then your new people enroll, and it just keeps going down and down, okay? We also offer travel incentives, and we have some going at the moment. So when you reach the rank of Pro 5, and they are March and August trips, you go to what's called the Pro 5 Summit. All right. Now, Candace has reached this amazing milestone. She hasn't yet been able to experience the travel yet, but hopefully that will not be long. And that is just basically because you're moving to a different area of your business here, and the company wants to recognize you and highlight you as one of their leaders, okay? We are also going to have an incentive at the moment for Croatia. So a lot of our distributors right now are working towards getting this incentive trip. And generally these are paid for by the company, and you have to increase your sales and your business building levels and volumes in order to achieve these. So there's lots of incentives there to keep you motivated and to keep you keen in driving your business forward, okay? Now let's talk a little bit about systems. We have some amazing systems in place. We have our Team Heart launch guide. Now this guides you through step by step of exactly what you need to do as a distributor yourself, or as you onboarding a new distributor in your business, okay? And they also come with an app on your phone, all right? So we have that technology for you as well. So it really is the company trying to make it as easy for us as we possibly can. So you basically have your business on your phone, okay? This is the way of the world now. So our system is simple. It's called ITT, right? Let me just go back a bit. So we invite people, we tag them in products, and in a group called My LifeVantage Story, we share with them information and testimonials about our amazing products, and then we invite them to a call to speak with people that have been doing the business for a while. So if you're thinking right now, oh gosh, I don't know anything about it, I wouldn't even know where to start, don't worry. This is what our team is fantastic at doing, okay? We support our people and we help them until they can do what Candace and I are doing right now, right? being able to talk comfortably about our products and our business. So we will hold your hand through the whole process. We will show you how to invite. We will show you how to tag them and include them in our Facebook groups. We will show you how to get on a call and let us do all the talking for you, all right, until you are able to then go and do it for yourself. Now, you might have heard a lot about timing in companies, and this is really crucial. So if you are looking, you need to look at the timing, and we definitely do have that, okay? 99.95% of US and Canada have never joined. And it's only been here in Australia. What are we at now? I think it's like 13 or 14 years now in Australia, right? It's been in the US and Canada for a lot longer, okay? And still, they've never joined. So that just goes to show you the potential that there still is, right? The other thing is 60% of increase in wellness sales in the last 8 years. That's what we've had, okay? And over here, I don't know how clearly you can see it, but it's just got different graphs of what has been growing. And as you can see here, the yellow one, 35.6% in wellness. And that is all in network marketing mostly, okay? This is an amazing business model. It is not like your traditional business model, okay? Where if any, hands up in the chat if you've owned a traditional business or currently own a traditional business, right? You've got things like stock, you've got things like rent, you've got, you know, marketing, all that kind of stuff. You don't have to worry about any of that, right? The company takes care of all that back end stuff for you. Your job is to meet with people, talk to people, share about the amazing products. The products sell themselves once people get onto them, you know. Okay, here's a little bit more statistics here. Over 220 studies have been published on oxidative stress and growing, right? In pubmed.gov, if you were to go and look up oxidative stress, you would see over 220 studies, just on oxidative stress, nothing to do with our product, okay? And this little graph down here, this is where we are in the red zone, okay? You want to join a business before it gets to that critical mass. Or right here now is the perfect timing, because then what happens is we get into momentum and then it plateaus off, right? So now is the time. Now is the time. If you've been thinking about doing something, have a bit more of a look at this and see if this aligns with you and what you would like to venture into. All right, so you might be thinking, can I do this? No money, no time, no experience. You don't know many people. You've tried this in the past but failed. Anyone relate to that? Okay. You might have lack of courage to even try again. Can I just tell you, the support that you get from our team is amazing. Okay, as I said before, we will hold your hand through the whole process until you are confident enough to soar like an eagle. Okay. Over 300 million in the team of sales, right? Team sales, I should say. Already positioned nearly 60,000 people inside of our network. It's just a paint by number system. We launch people, we teach them or they learn, and then we lead them, okay? Team Heart is all about skills, mindset, and leadership training. Okay, we train you. We have a training session every week, apart from any extra training or support that you need from your upline or the person that enrolls you. So please, if that's one thing that's holding you back right now, don't let it be. This is an amazing opportunity for you and your family and the people that you share it with for their health and their wealth. And here's just a few of our amazing team members. You know, these are at different events that we've been at, and also at, you know, when we have our trainings on Zoom calls. All right. So I would love to say thank you so much for being with us this evening and spending your time with us. If you do have any questions about anything that we've talked about tonight or require more information, please go back to the person that invited you tonight, and they will definitely look after you. Thank you again, and good night.